Hello and welcome to the Talk Football podcast. This is season 5, episode 6, and I am joined by a very special guest. I'm joined by Stacey from the National Grassroots Show. Welcome to the podcast, Stacey.
Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Long day. It's been a very long day. I know it's been a long day for you as well. So
it has, yeah.
Yeah. Apologies to anyone that does end up watching or seeing this if we look, bedraggled, tired, whatever.
Yes.
It's life. It's life. So, so we're going to talk to Stacey about her journey in football and what led to be part of the National Grassroots Show. I've watched some of their videos and I'm looking forward to hopefully getting up to see the show in July the 19th, I believe. So, but we're going to get all the details. Yeah, we're going to get all the details off of Stacey and about that. But we're going to start off with your football journey. So, I mean, in terms of that, how did you get started with football?
I'm going to blame my brother initially. So I've got a younger brother, 2 years younger. He was absolutely football mad. My mum and my dad are also football mad, so I couldn't really avoid it, to be honest. So, down on the park, playing at school, although there wasn't as much provision for girls back when I was at school, because I'm getting on a little bit. So, yeah, always playing at the park, playing with my brother, playing at school. Had a bit of a break, went into swimming and dancing, decided they weren't for me, got back into football as an adult. So I currently coach, train, and also play for a Grassroots team in Doncaster. Absolutely love it. They're like a second family now. Grassroots football has taken over my life, really. So yeah, I guess the rest of they say is history. Got a bit of an injury about 18 months ago because I was just playing, and then the team came to me and said, "Do you want to coach?" And I was a bit nervous to start with. Never done any coaching in my life, but yeah, now I wouldn't. It's literally changed my life. I've got an under-9 girls team. I've got a women's rec team, and I also play for a women's team that I'm assistant manager for as well. So weekends are very football related.
I'm very busy.
Yes, very busy.
I wish that my daughter, when she was at primary school, she was into football. She was playing for the school team. As she's progressed into secondary school, she kind of drifted away from it, but she'll still watch games with me. I'm trying to fire up her interest in it to get, I'm taking her to Stamford Bridge next Sunday, 26th, for the Chelsea women versus Arsenal. So that'll be a good experience. But I've been dragging her along. I've been doing this whole non-league thing. So I want to kind of start focusing on grassroots, like community clubs, stuff like that. So we've been focusing on non-league clubs within the area. We've done one up in Derby as well.
Nice.
So I've been dragging her along for that and trying to get her interested in football again.
She'll come back to it. She will come back to it. If it's right for her, she will come back to it. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Seen it on so many occasions.
I mean, she's very like me. So I think experiencing it in the stadium and stuff like that, it'll really give her the buzz for it.
The experience.
And I really like watching the women's football as well, because I just find it a more family orientated atmosphere.
It is, and it's getting quicker as well as a game. It's picking up pace, and they're great role models, especially for young girls. So you'll love that, and she will, I'm sure.
This is it, and I mean, in terms of grassroots football, I was very lucky when I was a kid because we had the youth club was right there on our estate, so we had access to to football. It's not so much of that around these days. I mean, my son, he's 25 now, but when he was stepson, but still my son. But we had him in a training academy kind of thing. So it was part of a local recreation centre. They had coaches from Chelsea that came down. They would assist with learning and that as well, which is really good. And I know that they still do some of that. And I recently connected with a football club called Westside, who are based around a church, but they work with the local community, and they've got teams from under 7s right the way through to men's and women's. So I like the idea of focusing on that, and I just think it's more accessible in terms of particularly for us, that we can help them and throw a little bit of a highlight towards the community clubs and what they're doing. And if that just helps one person to know where to go to get that, then brilliant. That's the whole aim of it.
Yeah. Perfect. I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, it could be little Bobby who's 4 and he's just starting out on his grassroots journey to, you know, as part of Edenthorpe, who I play for, they've got a walking football team, and you know, it's you can be any age as long as you can walk and kick a ball. It's, you know,
my
and
dad,
everyone
up until recently, was still playing walking football as well. Even though he's on his 3rd hip, he just won't stop.
It's just it's so good for fitness and the mental side as well. I mean, obviously, when I had my injury, I was like, what am I going to do? You know, it almost like my life had stopped a little bit. It obviously hadn't, but then getting back into it, literally. I mean, I'm coming back from a 2nd injury. This week's my 1st week back, and just the way I feel as myself, just for getting back to training, just seeing the girls again, and it's just it's insane what football can do. Grassroots sports of any level. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know whether you cover other sports and that as well as part of the Grassroots show.
So this year's is solely about football. But then next year, I can't give too many details, but we're already in the planning for 26, and there will be additional sports. There could be up to another 10 different sports, all grassroots level, because it's, you know, the response we've had for putting on this football show is just insane in terms of the amount of people that want to get involved and help celebrate grassroots football. We've already been contacted by other sort of grassroots coaches, professionals of other sports as well. So some of the sports we will be looking at, although it's not confirmed yet, you know, rugby, cricket, netball, golf, just to name a few. So 26 is going to be even bigger and better. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what areas do you sort of like, do you cover in terms of, are you kind of like Northwest focused or at the moment, or are you looking to branch out everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the event's going to be held at the NEC in Birmingham this year, but we've already had teams from Jersey say that they're coming. So it's literally nationwide. I mean, I think the NEC told me that I think it was 80% of the population was in a 3-mile travel time of the venue. So it's literally, it's open to everybody, no matter if you're a coach, you know, a club official, a player, managers. It's open to everybody who wants to celebrate grassroots football, and it's all under one roof, which is brilliant.
That is brilliant. Yeah. I mean, I'm hopefully, like I say, fingers crossed I can get up there, because
fingers crossed you can get some time off.
Crossed. I can get some time off, mate. They won't force me to drive a bus, you know, all weekend.
No, it'd be great to see you down there. It really would.
Yeah, I mean, I love football. I mean, I tried to be a footballer when I was younger. I never really had the discipline for the training and stuff like that. I thought I could just literally do what I want, eat what I want, and then rock up.
It's hard work. It is,
you know, on a Sunday and score some goals. But you know, my legs and my knees are in a right old mess now because of that. But
I feel you.
I keep saying to myself, right, that's it. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to play anymore. But I can't. I'll have a little kickabout with the kids or whatever over the park, and that's it. I've got the bug, and there isn't
crazy what it does.
You know, as a forward, I mean, there's just no feeling better than scoring a goal. It really isn't.
Exactly. I play up top or on the right, and it's just having that ball at your feet. My other half plays on a Saturday, semi-pro, and even just watching him, I'm just like, I just want to get on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It really is crazy.
We've got to give his team a shout out there. You know?
Oh, Carlton Athletic over in Leeds. Yeah.
Well, you have to. I presume that they've got Instagram and TikTok and all that as well. I mean, a lot of.
I could probably improve it for them, but yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, like a lot of the non-league clubs that I've been like following and all that, I've got more followers than they have. I mean, and we ain't got a lot, but you know, we've only got, I think it's like 16 or 1700. But so I was like, I get such a buzz like when one of them follows me back, because it's just like. I just like, I mean, honestly, there could be kids outside playing five-a-side, and I'll be like, okay, I want to watch. I want to, I want to, you know, be involved with it. I'd love to get into like coaching and all that, but there was a guy that I work with. He's got an academy in Southwest London, but you know, with my job and that, it's just so difficult to commit to the time.
Finding the time into it,
This is it, particularly for shift workers. You know, shift workers, it is difficult to be involved
Of course, yeah.
With all that, but yeah.
I mean, getting the calls, it's all done online. So, you know, you can
I
can
can
do it from the luxury of your sofa when you get that time.
This is it. And
just getting out
obviously
there, I guess, isn't
you got
it?
the whole, you got to do the security checks and all that as well, and make
DBS,
sure you're not a felon or whatever.
It's important. It's very important.
It is important. Kids must be safe. Can't
Yes,
have
they must
anyone
be.
coaching these days.
No,
But yeah,
definitely not. No.
I'd love to get into that at some point.
Yeah.
I did actually float the idea of even setting up my own actual football club.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I've always said if I won the lottery, I would buy a football club. Not a big one. I'm not talking
No.
like you know, not even like, probably like a Sutton or a Carshall and something like that kind of size.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be awesome.
That would be good.
Right.
That would be
I suppose we better talk more about your show, because you know,
yes,
we want to plug your show. So I looked at like some of the guests, speakers and that you've got advertised on
that
there.
We've announced. We've got lots more to announce. Yeah, lots more to announce this year. Yes.
So in terms of that, what can we expect like people that were coming along in terms of like the speakers and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I mean, we've got a good range of different speakers. So we've got, you know, ex-managers, ex-professional players, we've got semi-pros, we've got scouts that are still working at professional clubs now. We've got elite physiotherapists, we've got health and nutritionists, we've got founders of the latest technology in grassroots football. We've literally got the best of the best coming to the show to speak. And at £15 a ticket, even if you just come and listen to some of the keynote speakers for a day, it's an absolute steal, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to be able to just get some takeaways from some of these, you know, ex-professionals. And, you know, we've got the likes of Carla Ward, who's obviously just accepted the Ireland women's job. I mean, she is top level, and she's going to be there to obviously speak to and ask questions to. We're going to have panel discussions. We're going to have football agents there. We've got literally everyone and anyone. And it's, as you can see, I'm buzzing about the people that are there. So it's anyone who likes football, or even just grassroots sport of any degree. There's going to be so many takeaways to take from these guys that are going to be there speaking. It's good. It's really cool. It's a good lineup.
I think so, especially if you're like, you know, if you're coaching at like youth club levels and stuff like that. There's going to be so much that people are going to be able to take away in terms of like, you know, how they organize training sessions and stuff like that, and you know, being able to engage with the kids, particularly kids. I mean, kids are where, you know, which is the best part for me about the grassroots football, is being able to give them something, you know, because there's so much doom and gloom. You know, you see so much on the news about stabbings and this, that, and the other gang related stuff.
Try to avoid it, if I'm being honest.
I know it is horrible. I mean, it's difficult in London. I mean, you know, my dad lives in Birmingham, and it all goes on. I mean, it goes on everywhere, but
it does.
I just think as a society, you know, especially with stuff like, you know, grassroots football, money gets wasted so much on absolutely needless things, and I just think that stuff like this, people interacting with shows like yours, that they can really do something in their communities and inspire the next generations to go on and do something, and also any generation really, because you've got old people that might be a bit lonely, like you say. You can get them involved with the walking football. You know, they'll get friends and get them out the house and get people moving as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know a particular chap, I'm not going to mention him, but he's actually suffering with dementia, and he goes and plays walking football every single week, and it's his main sort of normality, if you like, because he knows every Wednesday night he's going to go and play walking football. He's going to see his friends, and it, like you say, it just gets him out of the house, and the smile on his face when he's finished is just worth it. It's incredible. It really is. And I know there's so many other people out there that maybe want to get into to do some sort of sport, whether it be for fitness, whether it be for the social side, just to see people. You know, grassroots sport on that level is just do it. Do you know what I mean?
I think the biggest problem is that people don't know how to find these things. I mean, it's easy to say, oh yeah, you can just Google it, but a lot of people don't really understand or know where to start and where to find these. So obviously, you know, being able to go on your website and stuff like that. I came across you guys purely by accident, really, just through flicking through TikTok, because obviously, on the Talk Football channel, a lot of it is obviously the stuff that pops up is football and sport related. And I was like, okay, so what's this then? And it's like, oh, this looks interesting. I'm doing grassroots stuff, so let's have a look at this. And I thought, do you know what? That's one, I want to go, and two, it just gave that intrigue, as if, okay, I need to find out more about what this is.
About this,
yeah. So
obviously, alongside the keynote speakers, we'll have sort of little seminar breakout rooms as well. So some of them will be dedicated to coaches and managers, so they can get hints and tips to then obviously take back to their own clubs. We're also going to be doing sort of skills workshop areas as well. So we've got Cameron Jerome, who's obviously just retired. He's going to host some striker workshops for little Joey who's 4 to, whoever it is at, playing walking football. It's about the technique and things like that. So there's so many takeaways from this show. It's not just a case of come and listen to speakers, but you're going to get so much to take away with you as well. It's lots of added benefit to sort of attending.
Yeah, I remember Cameron Jerome, and funny enough, actually, our editor, he lived in Stoke for quite a few years, and I remember when Cameron Jerome actually played for Stoke. He scored some good goals, really good goals.
He's really crackers, some absolute worldies.
There was, yeah. They've had a couple of strikers actually that have done a few worldies there. I remember they had Peter Crouch there for a little while, and I do remember a couple of long rangers from him.
Yeah, he's got the legs.
He has definitely got the legs for it. Our editor he's actually in the comments, and he has actually made a comment there. So I mean, obviously he is he has a prosthetic leg, so he's quite clearly, he said that if he can play football, anyone can. So
exactly. So, I mean, we've also got wheelchair football team coming down. We've got a team with cerebral palsy, Down syndrome. It's literally, the event is so inclusive. Anybody and everybody can come down, whether they be taking part in the tournaments that we've got going. So we've actually got 3 tournaments running up and down the UK currently, where the finals are all going to be held at the show. So again, people will be able to come down and watch sort of the best of grassroots football as well. But yeah, it's totally inclusive for everybody.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, brilliant. Right, well, we're going to get some details off you about how people can get in contact, obviously, with you, and where to go to buy tickets, etc., for those that want to go along to the show. So I'll let you give us all the details for all that.
Here's my spiel. So yeah,
there we go. Tell the show. No pressure.
I'm on. So the National Grassroots Show, first of its kind in the UK, coming to the NEC in Birmingham on the 19th and 20th of July. So it should be nice and sunny as well, which would be really great. So yeah, at the actual event, we've got keynote speakers. We're going to have skills workshops, skill zones. We've obviously got the large scale exhibition. Now, in terms of the exhibition, we've got some big names coming. A couple of them I can't say because we're going to do a big announcement and things like that. But we've got some big names that I can talk to you about. So we've got the likes of VO, who are obviously massive in terms of the technology side of grassroots games, training, recording everything, looking back the analysis side. We've got Samba Sports, another big sort of apparel and kit supplier. We've got the GSA, which is a company that basically insures grassroots players. So for the likes of yourself, if you got back into it, if touch wood, you never get another injury, but if you're out of work for a number of weeks or months or whatever it is, obviously the GSA would look after you and protect you that way. We've got, who else have we got? We've got Howard Goals. So obviously they're going to bring some of their kit down as well. We've got Love My Club. We've got so many different people. We've also got 3v3 UK, who are bringing some of their inflatable pitches down for some of the tournaments as well. So people will be able to play 3v3 and 1v1. So the exhibition's massive, spread across 6 different zones. I've got to try and remember them all now. So we've got girls and women's, we've got technology, we've got health and wellness, we've got community, training and coaching, and also trade innovation. So that's all the kit side of things. Another company who's going to exhibit is a company called Reason Halos. Now, they've just started up sort of in the last 2 years, but they manufacture sort of head protection wear. So it's all about protecting the brain during grassroots sports. Big in hockey, big in rugby, wanting to get into football. They look great. They look really fashionable because obviously some headwear just looks ridiculous. So they're joining us as well. Yeah, so exactly. Do you know what? I was thinking about him the other day because he had the full headgear on, didn't he? A lot of the time. Yeah. So we've got obviously lots of different exhibitors. Like I say, we've got the tournaments. It's just going to be jam-packed of just grassroots football goodness, in all honesty. So everyone needs to go. Everyone who's got an interest in grassroots football, whether they be a player, a coach, a scout, even referees. They get a bit of stick from time to time, but it's a great sort of event for those to go to as well.
I apologise to any referees that I've ever offended. I've refereed a couple of games, like friendly games now, and I really appreciate what it feels like to be on the other end.
You do, don't you? Even like under 9 girls, which is my team that I coach, it's like when I'm refereeing them, I'm just like, oh gosh, just back off a little bit. Do you know what I mean? the sort of the buzz that everyone gets, and I couldn't be a ref, could not be a ref at all. So in terms of tickets, so the show costs just £15, which is crazy for the amount of goodness that you're going to get from the show. They can be bought from the-gsa.co.uk. So that's where the tickets can be bought from directly. Sorry?
I have the website here.
Perfect. And then the National Grassroots Show website, which gives you more details about the event, is the nationalgrassrootsshow.co.uk. So lots of information online, obviously, as we announce more guest speakers and people that are going to attend, more sponsors. The website's the place to be, alongside all our socials as well. And we're on all the major ones, so they can be found and followed on there as well. So that's exciting.
There we go. Now, before we finish, and I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here anyway, because we did briefly, I did briefly ask you who you follow, so I can't let you go because
we're going to fall out now, aren't we?
Because I've possibly got a Man United fan popping up later.
Right.
Well, I just want to ask, I mean, was you a Ten Hag in or out anyway? Like before, obviously,
I was an out.
He was an out. Okay.
Totally out. I think he should have gone, quite political, I think he should have gone
at the end of the season.
Before the start. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So somebody could come in fresh. I mean, Van Nistelrooy did a cracking little job, bless him, for 4 games, I think it was.
Yeah,
and everyone loves him. And and I think the players also had that respect for him because he's a legend as well.
He knew.
I think Amarim's got that
to be, the Man United way.
Exactly. And I mean, exactly. And Amarim's come out and said that himself. Is like, it's not good enough that we're losing games. We are Manchester United. We should be doing better. But I'm just, I mean, obviously he's not been in post too long, and there's a completely new formation he's trying. He's not got the players he'd want yet. I mean, obviously the likes of Rashford, Garnacho and Mainu potentially all go in, which I'm gutted about because it's young, fresh blood. I mean, but
we were linked in. I mean, you can never really take too much into account what gets linked in the papers, but obviously my club Chelsea had some tenuous links with Garnacho and Mainu.
Yes.
We're not. We don't want Garnacho. We take Mainu, but we don't want Garnacho. We got enough in the forward areas.
Oh, when he's on form, he is insane. Such a good player.
For me, the midfield should be built around him, but I think it's very difficult. And I won't go too deep into the Man United tactics. I'll probably keep you here for hours. But and I'm sure you've got much more better things to do than talk about Man United tactics. But I mean,
ice me knee.
I just think from looking from an outside perspective, just briefly on it, I think that there's so many. I mean, the whole Jim Ratcliffe thing and what's come in, the cutting the funding with the women's football team and that as well, and not funding them properly.
Yeah,
I think it's just been a bit messy, isn't it, in the background?
Yes.
And
I agree. I mean, obviously,
that needs
to
get better before.
Yeah, it's going to affect what happens on the pitch ultimately. What's happening behind the scenes, and it's that's sad, but. Yeah,
and from an out, from you looking at it as a player that may want to sign for the club, and obviously it's Man United, it's a massive club. It still has that pull. It's still, arguably the biggest club in the world. But if you look at it and you think, oh, it's a bit messy, I might swerve that one and go elsewhere. But I mean, fingers crossed for you for the rest of the season.
I
say that quite lightly because we are pushing for top 4 as well. But I'm not one of these football fans that like hates other teams, even Spurs. I hate them. I don't know. I love
it's just
football.
competitive.
So, there's some fans out there that just so die-hard hate towards rivals and stuff like that. But I love football. Yeah. I love watching football, and I don't carry hate. I mock and I'll have a bit of banter.
You've got to have that, definitely.
As you should. But yeah, there's too much hate in the world to
there is.
To spread some positivity.
That's your Prime Minister. Yeah, let's do it.
There we go. I think
we don't want that job actually.
No, that's a worse job to take on than most Premier League jobs. To be fair. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on our little podcast.
Thank you for having me.
That's all right. I mean, as you get closer to the show, if you want to come back on and give us updates and stuff like that, come on and talk about any local clubs that you're involved with and stuff like that, like non-league, grassroots level. Your partner, obviously, you mentioned plays. If he wants to come on and talk about his team and how they're doing, and I would ask a favour if you could drop me on the old inbox there the name of the club and that, so I can go and follow them and check them out.
Will do. Definitely.
And when I get on my travels, you never know, I might pop up and do a little match day vlog at their ground or whatever.
Come up to Doncaster come up to Doncaster.
Do you know, I did come up there, play football a long time ago. I can't remember where it was we played, but it was a big indoor. It was a 5-a-side tournament when I worked for my previous employer Asda, and they used to do the national championship. All the Asdas from all over the country used to come up and play up there. But then they moved it to Manchester for a few years later. But yeah, I loved Doncaster. I had a great night out. I don't think the pub that we went in and did karaoke really appreciated me and my friends' slightly Cockney version of a Beatles song. There was a lot of big guys sat in at the chairs near the front. A lot of them wearing rugby tops. So I don't really particularly think they appreciated us. But I enjoyed
the highlight of their night.
Yeah, we had a great football tour up there, and I've not been back up there that way since. So yeah, I'll have to come and check it out.
Then we'll sort it.
Yeah, yes. I don't know. Doncaster still playing at the ground up there. Is it Doncaster Rovers?
Eco Power Stadium. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, still at the stadium.
And the ladies, did the ladies play at the same stadium as well?
They don't.
Doncaster Bells, isn't it?
The Bells. Yes, they don't play all the games there, but they do play quite a few now, which is really nice to see. So, and they get a decent sized crowd as well. Yeah,
that's brilliant. Well, looks like I'm going to be on my travels again.
Yes, I think you should.
Brilliant.
Sounds good.
There we go. Right, so for those that may have missed it, go and check out where we are, the National Grassroots Show.co.uk.
Yes.
Like I say, they have their show coming up in July. And obviously, if you follow them on their socials and that as well, and you need any information and you need any help setting up any kind of grassroots, they can point you in the right direction for everything.
Yes.
And like I say, get along to the show. You'll meet all the lovely people that Stacey has got all lined up with her fellow colleagues from
lots and lots.
And enjoy their show. So, like I say, anyone that wants to be involved with our podcast as well, don't forget, follow the little link at the bottom there. All the links are in our profile to get to anywhere. And if you need any help with anything related to football, local community stuff, drop us a message and we will point you in the right direction of wonderful people like Stacey and her organisation. And we'll try and help out as best we can. So thank you, everyone that watches this back. And we'll see you on the next episode. Stacey, thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me.
There we go.